It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 4th, 2023. That was Van Halen, Ain't Talking About Love. That has been my favorite Van Halen song since the first time I ever heard it.
Really?
Yeah, got Van Halen 1 in the house on cassette. Had heard You Really Got Me on the radio. Put it on. Running with the Devil starts. I'm like, man, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then Eruption, and I'm like, holy crap. And then You Really Got Me, and I'm like, man, this is. And then Ain't Talking About Love hit, and I went, all right, there we go. That's the cleanup hitter of all cleanup hitters.
I think that's the first one I ever heard, actually, and I was like, whoa.
Which one?
Ain't Talking About Love.
That was
I think that's the first one.
It's boy, it still works for me every time. And I was thinking last night, I was thinking about seeing Van Halen back in the day, like the David Lee Roth from like 81, 82, 83, 84, as they were truly ascendant and became the biggest rock band on the planet. They would always come out and open with a song called Unchained. And the lights it was an incredible moment in the show, and they had you in the palm of their hands. Like if you went to see Van Halen back then, they came out, unchained kicks, you were blinded by more white, brilliant light than you've ever seen in your life, and you were off and running. And they killed you from the moment the show started. The exact antithesis of what I saw last night at the XL Energy Center. Yeah. Peter Gabriel show, just going to go ahead and cut right to the chase. 3 hours, 2 sets. Phenomenal, but it opened with House Lights Go Down, and Peter Gabriel walks out alone and speaks to the audience for 5 minutes. Hello. Thank you. That's a lovely welcome. Good evening. Thank you. You know, I was thinking about, and he just starts talking, and everyone's like, you could hear a pin drop, and he held everybody in his. He's such a unique performer and writer and artist, and it's been so long since he's toured like this, and he hasn't put out a record in so long. Everybody was hanging on every word, and I thought as it was happening, man, that's a guy in command of himself, of his presence, of his audience, of everything. 5 minutes of conversation and chatter, and then basically explained the entire arc of humanity over the first set, playing music he's not yet released for over an hour, and nobody made a sound. It was one of the most compelling and incredible shows I've ever seen. Wow. And I'm exhausted right now, but boy, it was great.
Running on fumes, but a pretty good high you've got going there.
No. When I crash, it's going to be ugly, but right now I am still just riding the giddy train from Peter Gabriel. So if we gave away a bunch of tickets, I hope everybody that went to the show last night had even half of the buzz I had leaving that building. It was sensational.
What was he wearing, and what did he play?
He just played keys. He never put on a guitar or anything. He was wearing some sort of thing a guy from another part of the world would wear. I don't know what you'd call it. It's it's an article of clothing that looked great on him.
Okay.
But he wasn't there, right?
No. That's right. Yeah, he
him?
came
I
out
love
and
that
he
story
introduced himself. He said Peter Gabriel is on a Greek island right now, living the life of a Greek god. This is a hologram. And he said, unlike most holograms who they always remove 20 pounds and put hair back on, I've decided my hologram will be bald and 20 pounds heavier than he should be. And he was just off and running. But there was a lot of talk about, he said, I grew up on a farm. And he goes, and we were very concerned back then. The bulls especially were very concerned with AI. AI to the bull was artificial insemination. And then he tied in artificial insemination with the fact that artificial intelligence is inseminating our brains. I mean, he went deep, and it all made sense at the time, and I would do nothing but butcher it if I tried to express all the concepts he laid out. In between songs, he would talk about, this is what's on my mind, and this is a concern, and here's a song I wrote about it. And it was not preachy or heavy. It didn't take away. And then the band was amazing. And it sounds, my God, that XL Energy Center, the sound in there is amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, they got it right, didn't they?
It sounded like I felt like I was at a theater gig. It was that intimate, that small feeling in the big room. Peter Gabriel, just, boy, you could do a lot worse than a night with that guy.
That's right there's a testament to getting off your couch and getting out on a Tuesday night. You've been talking about it, and I thought I'd love to see Peter Gabriel, but I already, this is what I do. I'm like, I'm going to go see Clapton on Wednesday or whatever, and then I just, I'm going to go to bed instead. But
don't kid yourself. At 5 p.m., I was like,
right.
I'm going to have to get a latte. No, I'm going to be up late. I got to make plans. And it was a perfect way to follow. It was a great ending of the day after that amazing baseball game that I forgot to watch.
Oh, how could see? I fell asleep.
That was me. I got some stuff done early afternoon. I'm all set up, and then all of a sudden, I'm on the couch, and I'm like, I got to wake up and go see a concert. I better reset my brain. And then I went, oh wait, I just forgot about the game I was excited about all day long. I did catch the end of it, and boy, the highlights. But let's just get right to that. How about the Twins after 18 years finally punching a postseason ticket?
Yeah.
Well done, gentlemen.
Yeah.
We need happy music.
Yeah, we do need happy music. And what a great way. Again, what are the playoffs all about? Momentum. And what a great way to start. And what an incredible postseason debut for Royce Lewis, who I saw
He's
him.
so sexy.
I saw a pregame interview, and he was talking about, I feel like I might be able to go, not sure, just be playing DH.
Right.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, pretty important.
He did
cog
okay.
in that. In fact, there's a line in here. He matched a Twins record and accomplished one of the rare feats in postseason baseball, along with some Twins reaction here, fans' reaction after the game.
What happened in there?
They won. They won. They won. They freaking won. The curse is over. 18 years. It's done. We won.
That sums it up. That sums up the feelings of Twins fans. Congratulations. Go Twins! But Royce Lewis is the guy because he hit 2 home runs for the Twins today. First Twin to do it since Gary Gaetti back in '87 against Detroit in Game 1 of the ALCS. And this is what 18 games of frustration looks like. I'm going to go before someone hurts me.
By the way, I have to say it. Cubs, White Sox, and Red Sox fans are going, 18 years, that's a curse? Please, hold my beer. Hold my great-grandfather's beer.
Yeah,
because
no
he didn't
kidding.
see a title either. But no, it's great. It's really, really wonderful. 18 games in a row in the postseason without a win. Man, that feels good.
The energy there, and Baldelli talked about it as well. He said that's the energy. The guys talked about it. Lopez and Lewis talked about it after the game, just the energy of 38,500 people, hungry Twins fans. And, when the Minnesota fans turn it on, when they get hyped up for something, when they're all in, they are that other player, that intangible on the field. Because when I turned on the game, I fell asleep, woke up in the middle, decided to rewind it and skip through some of it, but you could feel that energy through the TV. So pretty good stuff.
Yeah, no, really fantastic. I just love being in a town during the postseason. The amount of Twins gear. I'm looking at a Twins hat and shirt right now between Tony and Candace. Yeah, baby. And but just in my neighborhood, just the number of folks at the Peter Gabriel gig last night, tons of Twins gear. It's just exciting, man. There's nothing like it. I was really surprised. I moved to L.A. My family moved up there in 2002, and when the NBA playoffs started, I couldn't believe. I mean, I know LA loves its teams, but the Lakers, I mean, it's a religion out there. Like, there was a Lakers flag on every car you saw for a month, and it always really struck me. And boy, it was awesome to see that last night. Everywhere I was, like in my neighborhood, and then at the gig, and then after driving back, there's just Twin stuff everywhere. It's a truly exciting time. Nothing beats baseball. Nothing's worse than baseball in July, and nothing's better than baseball in October.
Thank God I wore my lucky underpants yesterday.
Thank goodness.
Thank the Candace, a baseball starved fan base. Thanks you, a baseball success starved, I should say. Very, very well done. Yeah, listen, Royce Lewis, nice job, dude. Two dingers just in your first ever postseason game. I mean, imagine that. After what he's been through, a number 1 pick, blows out both ACLs. Now, right before this, he's got a weak hamstring. I mean, imagine what's going through that kid's mind. And he wakes up yesterday and says, no, I think I can do this. Yeah, well done. Great effort. And again, just on the first step of hopefully many in the postseason, that's the way you want to do it.
Now it's at Game 1 down, 2 this afternoon at 3:38. We'll drive on to Mike Evans Hollywood Report. He'll pretend to be a Twins fan here at 6:30. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 4th. The Twins got a big win yesterday. Let's get to the Mike Evans Hollywood Report. This man is a baseball man. He knows of what he speaks. The Twinkies they're his life. Mike, it's like religion for you. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. National Taco Day.
Speaking of religion, yes, sir.
National Taco, free tacos at most Taco Bells. Check it out. Check it out. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. This report brought to you by Marcus Theaters. Tuesday's gone. Our Tuesday $6 special is gone, but it will be back soon. And some good movies coming out this weekend to tell you about, and you can enjoy them at Marcus Theater with great lounge seating. You know, when last time that Steve went, though, he fell asleep. It was so comfortable, but it's a great place to see a movie.
If it had been anything but stop making sense, I might have. Yes, that comfortable.
Love nuggets. So 2 years ago, I broke the story that Brad Pitt and Ines de Ramon were dating. Brad is now taking steps to introduce his kids to Ines. It could happen as early as this month, although most of them are adults. Mm-hmm. Despite Angelina Jolie still doing everything she can to stop it. Boy, she's just a bitter party of one, huh?
Well, who knows what goes on behind the closed doors of private planes?
I guess. The Hollywood couple who displays the most PDA, definitely Justin and Hailey Bieber, just for the record.
That's lovely.
TV news. Is it true there is already a documentary in the works about the former Abercrombie & Fitch CEO, Mike Jeffries, who's being investigated for a 22-year scam of sex racket of paying unsuspecting very young men for sex after flying them to London, Marrakesh, Paris, and Venice? This is going to get very ugly and very interesting. Jeffries right now is in hiding.
Sure. Abercrombie and Fitch, you say?
Yes.
Okay.
He's CEO for 20 years. Oh, yeah, Abercrombie and Fitch. The morning show on Apple TV with Jennifer Aniston, Reese Witherspoon. Have you ever watched that, the morning show?
You know what, Mike? Just watched the first season over the last few weeks, finally.
You like it?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the first two seasons are good. They've added John Hamm. Third season, not quite as good, at least what I've seen of it so far, but I like the show.
Is it doing well? Are people still tuning in?
Not as much as they were.
Yeah, that's life.
Odds and ends, Jamie Lee Curtis said that she was shocked when she saw Pamela Anderson at the Paris Fashion Week with zero makeup. She said she was shocked, and Pamela was unrecognizable. You mean like just looks great, or
Yeah, she praised her for looking amazing.
Oh, okay, thank you. I was missing some context. I thought maybe she was saying put a bag on her head or something.
Well, I'll tell you this. I saw Pamela at the Parker Resort swimming pool in Palm Springs a few years ago. With
sure, you
makeup.
Did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did, and she didn't look like Pamela Anderson. I'll say that. I mean, she wasn't ugly or anything, but boy, I never would have recognized her if an employee friend of mine hadn't pointed her out, and I walked around the pool and took a good look.
Oh, there you go.
Her body's still great, though. I'll tell you that. 97-year-old wheelchair-bound Dick Van Dyke was being wheeled around Disneyland on Sunday by his 52-year-old wife. Dick Van Dyke smiling, signing autographs. He really is one of the really good guys of Hollywood. Dick Van Dyke, 97 years old.
And I'm sorry, tell me where he was again, at Disneyland?
Disneyland on Sunday.
Isn't that nice?
I think it's very nice.
Jeez.
So after 6 months, Snoop Dogg has pulled all his money out of this new coffee brand called the Indu XYZ. Snoop blames a sketchy management company. Some say this coffee is so bad you have to be stoned to like it. Maybe Snoop is stoned when he bought into it. Had a little bit of that coffee and.
What are the odds Snoop wasn't stoned?
Yeah, exactly.
At any point in the last 30 years.
Exactly. And in case you missed it, Ed Sheeran says the craziest day of his life was getting stoned at Snoop's house. Ed says that he was so stoned that he couldn't walk or see straight. I've heard about other celebrities that have said the same thing when visiting Snoop's humble adobe. Mm-hmm. I guess we shouldn't be surprised. And I have for you today, Steve, what say you? I'd like your opinion. Kim Kardashian was released has released more nearly nude photographs of herself. I've held back for years, but the only words to describe Kardashian is rich white trash. I mean, she can't act, sing, dance. I don't get it.
Well, hang on. First of all, let me take a look at these photos. Okay. Here, no, but by the way, isn't she aren't people saying she's on a current series?
She's on American Horror Story.
Yes. And the word on the street, Mike, correct me if my thumb's on the wrong pulse, but people are saying she's pretty darn good in it.
I think she's doing great.
Candace loves it.
I like it.
Mediocre at best. And she said she's going to be a lawyer. But why does she keep putting out these pictures of herself? I mean, it's like Britney Spears. I mean, I don't get it.
Well, it's something to do with every time someone clicks on that account with 364 million followers on Instagram, she gets bank. How about that?
I don't know.
Mike, for that kind of money, I'd post photos of myself.
No.
My ass would be all over the internet for a pittance of what she's pulling in.
No, Steve, please don't do that.
Well, listen, as long as the money's not there, you don't have to worry about it.
Hey, have a great day. And I'm hearing that Taylor won't be in Minnesota this weekend.
You bite your forked tongue. What is she going to be doing?
Somebody in Kansas City. I'll bring it out here. Have a great day. Keep your pants on, Mike. Mike Evans, see you.
See you later. That's the Mike Evans Hollywood Report.
I can catch that on the podcast, right?
Yeah. I want to pull that back up so I can hear him say "humble adobe" again.
Yes, it's Adobe.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was is that a strain of weed?
Oh,
hey man, you
Adobe.
want some humble adobe?
Maybe. Ooh, if it's not, I'm going to get one going. I got 4 plants just rocking right now.
I wonder if when he's playing Wordle, if it's abode, if he first tries adobe. I can't remember which consonant goes where. Sorry, I love Mike. I don't mean to pick on him, but that just cracks me up. I thought he was about to bust into some Tuesday's Gone by Leonard Skinner there for a minute. Tuesday's Gone. It's kind of like Sandra D and Tuesday. Big parts of Mike's formative years, apparently. You know what? Let's just get on with it, shall we? How about we look back on October 4th, 1981. NBC aired a sports movie for the ages starring Harry Belafonte and Bruce Jenner. Back when Bruce Jenner was the Bruce Jenner from the Olympics, and he was still riding the
Wheaties box.
What did he do?
The decathlon.
The decathlon. I was going to say the biathlon. Wrong sport, wrong era, wrong season. Decathlon champ Bruce Jenner was getting movies. The movie on NBC TV aired Grambling's White Tiger. Do you remember this?
Nope.
A true story of Grambling College's one white football player, and Jenner played that guy. And my whole family watched it. For one reason, because in Baltimore, Maryland in the late 70s, at another black school called Morgan State University, there was Morgan's polar bear, and that was Jim Gorman, the only white basketball player in Morgan State history, the only white basketball player in his entire conference for a 4-year sterling career of college basketball. My brother, and we were like, man, they should do the show. They should do it about polar bear. Screw the Grambling White Tiger. Where's the polar bear? I'm literally yelling at a TV, like, why isn't this about my brother?
The White Shadow.
Didn't have much else. Oh, did I ever miss the White Shadow?
No, you did not.
No, I did not. You know what? Here's a fun fact. Babysat the Vance girls next door, Susan and Sarah. Lovely little kids. Went to babysit them on a Monday night. I put on the White Shadow, and they said, no, we're going to watch Little House. And I said, no, we're not. And then they screamed and made such a ruckus. I had to put on Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah.
Never been angrier in my life. I told their parents I can't do Monday nights anymore. See, kids, that's what it used to be like. One channel, one TV at a time. On this day in 1987, and this is beyond belief. Just think about this happening now. The NFL owners put in replacement players during the NFL players' strike. For not just 1 week, but 3 weeks. It started on October 4th, 1987. For 3 weeks, the NFL season continued with guys who weren't good enough to make rosters a week earlier. Mm-hmm. If you put the NFL, if you put scabs up on the field in 2023, there would be full-scale rioting going on.
That was the replacements with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. What a bizarre thing to have happened in modern history.
How Chuck Farley returned, much like Caesar returning to Rome, to Aberdeen, South Dakota. So he made the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, really?
You
had a scab in your hometown?
Yeah, had one of those fancy orange jerseys. There he was.
Oh, wow, the
creamsicle
got it orange.
Done. And, and some of those scabs made the leap, right? There were one or two of them that actually made the team. The Giants had, somebody famous, I think. But not Chuck, but he came home a conquering hero.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Good morning. It is Wednesday, October the 4th. You probably already knew that. For anybody like me recovering from the last night's Peter Gabriel show, wasn't that fantastic? For everybody else who didn't go, how about the Twins? Hey, what a good day it was around here yesterday.
Yeah.
A great gig at the XL, a great game at Target Field. Game 2 today. I believe Game 3 tomorrow. They just, that first round, man, they just knocked them down 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I like that, the wild card team has to go on the road for all 3 games. It's kind of a cool way to do it. So, yeah, bing, bang, boom. It'd be nice if we could wrap it all up tonight.
Yeah, wild card. It's like, no, you're in. I mean, you're going to go play somewhere else for 3 games. But, yeah, enjoy it. Have a good time. Good luck to you. That would be great to just knock them out today, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be a nice big knockout blow today. And
the next round starts Saturday. We'll be up at Cragen's watching playoff baseball. It's going to be a heck of a weekend. We've got Foo Fighter tickets at 8:30 today. Is that correct? Someone am I doing this right?
Yeah, that's right.
8:30. We're giving away Foo Fighters tickets. Great day in the morning. There was a crazy. What did you tell me, Zep? Foo Fighters over the weekend. They had an incident at a gig. What was it? A patron, a fan, had a medical problem, and the band took a pause to let the paramedics take care of the injured fan. Is that correct? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, I have a couple of pieces of audio. That's exactly it. So while an ambulance has to come and take the fan out, naturally the show stops. David Grohl doesn't stop. He comes over and wants to check on the fan and then has to kill a little time up there on stage. I saw them in Montana about a month ago. Same kind of thing happened. We had some lightning come in. Came back out, had to restart the show. This guy he's, I think, almost at his best when he's interacting with the crowd and goofing around. Here's a little bit of that audio.
Should I stop playing while you take care of that? I'll play something while you do that. Everything all right? Did you figure that out? Or do I have to play Stairway to Heaven? Do we need to play Stairway to Heaven right now? All right, we got to make sure they're okay over there, right?
Easy.
But
close.
Wait, there's more.
With the word she can get what she can't. Are we good over there yet?
Yeah. Wow.
And she's buying a stairway to heaven. Can I play a Foo Fighter song now? What are we doing?
You got to give the guy credit. He treats every gig like it's a club gig still. I mean, that's why it works, That's not something too many other people in arenas, much less stadiums, would do. You see a fan in trouble, and then the paramedics come in, and then you're just like, well, we got 4 minutes to kill. I'll just run shtick.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy at first half. Not quite so easy at a stadium.
Right.
Remember, this is the guy who fell off the stage in Sweden and broke his leg.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
And then went to the hospital and then came back and finished the set in a cast.
Not only in a cast, but a throne.
Yeah.
Well, when he got the throne
Uh-huh.
made, he had that throne made that was just so bizarre looking. They came through. I saw them a few months later, and he was still in the throne and backstage wheeling around on a little wheelie thing. When you have a broken leg, you put one leg up on the it's like a scooter for your leg. But then at some point, he was just walking around, and I go, dude, are you okay? He goes, yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much back. I go, why are you still doing the thing? He goes, do you know how many T-shirts with that throne we still have to sell? I was like, wow, good thinking. Always eyes on the prize, that Dave Grohl. But, you think you're going to a concert, you're safe. You think, what could go wrong? I'm going to go to a gig. I'm going to have fun. At no point last night when I was at the XL Energy Center watching Peter Gabriel did I think I could be hurt or injured or in any sort of – you just don't expect the normal things you do every day to be problematic. But there are a lot of things you do every day that are pretty darn problematic. Zep, you already mentioned we really need to stop washing our hair. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's right. I was just reading that more people get injured from washing their hair. Now it's the soap draining down our bods, and then we end up slipping on it. The old slip in the shower kind of thing.
Sure.
That's how that happens. Little everyday things,
Has anybody here slipped in the shower? I have.
I slept coming out of it once.
True story.
You fell in the shower?
No, the wall. I mean, I fell into the shower wall, and it saved me from that exact thing. Just my foot just went out from under. I'm just a quick, weird turn for whatever reason, and all of a sudden I was like, and I, by the way, not drunk, not hungover, not dead asleep, nothing. Just
not
a normal
getting it on or anything
feeling.
like that.
No, by myself, feeling, which I guess doesn't mean I wasn't getting it on, but I was not getting it on. I'm just completely turning to grab something, and my foot went out from under me and my other leg. I thought, oh my God, that would have been embarrassing.
You know what you need in there? Not one of those grippy mats. You need a chair. You're
Don't put me in a chair in a shower. I ain't getting out. That's going to be
I've never fallen or slipped in a shower, but I've had something else really bad happen in the shower once.
What happened?
Is there something else you can share, or are you just going to leave that there?
I like to just start it off with some suspense.
That's nice. What happened?
There was like this soap container thing in my shower that had a really sharp edge, and I was twisting the wrong way, and my whole leg got slashed open.
Oh, good
blood
Lord.
everywhere, all over the shower.
Really?
Oh,
Like
yeah,
psycho,
like a
yeah.
psycho.
What in the world?
It's crazy, man.
That is crazy, man. Yeah. I damn near. I came very close. Well, very close, a couple feet away, anyway, from possibly like maiming one of my children with a weed eater.
Oh.
I was doing the trim on the little walkway in front of the house, and my car was parked on the street, and I, not with a lawnmower, with a weed eater, a little tiny rock/pebble, shot up with such force that it shattered the passenger window of my car.
Yow.
I just saw it happen. I heard it. I thought someone had shot at it from. Look, like, what's the angle? Where's that bullet coming from?
Ew.
And it was a rock that I did, and my and Connell, who was like 7, was standing at the front of the car. I mean, if he had been walking, and if that thing had hit him, I don't know. It would have been. That would have been bad.
You don't expect that mowing the
like
grass. We have Bryce worked on the morning show here for many, many years. Lost the tip of his finger mowing the grass. It was a riding mower. I forget exactly, but it got caught in a belt or something when he was trying to change a gear or something like that. Didn't see that one coming.
I on a daily basis, I watch someone for a few seconds and think, I'm going to watch this person die. And that's the idiots who are riding around on scooters that have no business being on scooters, the little lime scooters in town.
Right.
My neighborhood's full of them. And for every 2 people that go by, one of them is laughing nervously because they're like, I'm not really sure what I'm doing.
Right.
And the friend's going, just go. And I think to myself, I'm going to watch. I feel like I have to document the fall for the paramedics because they're not going to remember. And I'm going to go, no, actually, it was the left side of her head hit the street first, and then she rolled over.
Right.
And that's when the nose abrasion developed. I mean, I really watch people I'm terrified for.
Yeah, no one's wearing a helmet. And those things,
no.
They can clip along pretty well. I saw a guy on a motorcycle going about 5 miles an hour. I kid you not. He was just rolling to a stop tip over with a helmet and hit the curb, and it split that helmet. Oh. Thankfully, he was wearing one. A lot of bikers don't. But, yeah, you're on one of those bad boys. You catch a curb, it'll just bust open like an egg.
I never see helmets on the scooter folks in town, ever. No. And by the way, if you're looking for a scooter, just cross the Stone Arch Bridge and look down. Because there's half dozen just in the river.
That's so weird.
Oh, yeah. The people just whip them in the river.
Like, a lot of times, like, for me, I don't plan taking a scooter, right? It's an impulse decision. Okay. Oh, maybe we should scoot there. Oh, there's some scoots over there. Let's get a scootin'.
Drinking and driving, by the way. You can get a DUI on one.
Let's get a scootin'. Remember that book, Froggy Went a Scootin'? That was my favorite childhood book. Frog and Toad went scootin'.
Oh, yeah, Frog and Toad. I love Frog and Toad. But, yeah, I'm saying I don't have my helmet with me. I don't prepare.
Yeah, I drive through campus when I leave every day, and it's just a swarm of scooters. I have to go like 2 miles per hour.
I know. When I'm speeding through Dinkytown texting, I'm just terrified I'm going to mow someone over.
With your eyes closed.
Right. It's going to happen. I just know it.
You know
By the way, on those scooters, you can get a DUI. It's happened before.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
I mean, you can get one on a horse for crying out loud.
You know what I do as I'm busting through Dinkytown? What I've realized is I put on the hazards, and as I'm texting, I just, with my left hand, I'm just on the horn. Burr, 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 just a nice steady beat with the hazards, and they all hear me. Yeah. That way it's their fault.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I'm looking at it.
I warned you. What about sleeping in bed? You guys ever been injured just sleeping in bed? I'm thinking of Derek, who called in several years ago to the morning show. We're talking about weird injuries, and his arm slipped between the bed and the mattress and the wall while he was sleeping, and he jerked awake, some weird dream.
Oh, no.
Ended up breaking his arm.
I don't doubt it.
Sleeping in bed.
I can totally see that happening.
Oh, my God.
Because I have the thing where if I sleep on my left side, down, good to go, and then sometimes I roll over on my back. But if I sleep on my right side, I only sleep on my right side by accident, and it's always with my right arm extended and my head on my right arm. Does that make sense? I'm laying on there. And I have, throughout the course of my life, on at least a dozen occasions, done that. And I wake up when I roll back over and my right arm has gone to sleep.
Yes.
And therefore it slaps me in my own face. And when you're asleep and you slap yourself in the face with an arm that's asleep, it doesn't feel like it's your hand. And so I wake up thinking someone's slapping me. Has anyone else ever done that? Is that just me?
Dare you, sir?
That's what it's exactly like someone else smack or puts their hand on your face, and you will wake up out of the deepest dream you ever had when that happens. And I'm actually amazed I haven't cracked a rib jerking up in bed that fast. Yeah.
It's only a matter of time. We'll keep the conversation.
There's always I was going to say there is one more, and and I don't know if anyone else has ever done this. I've noticed lately I almost twist my ankle kind of regularly. I just miss a step on the smallest thing. Can just make me whoa. I have a lot of those lately, and I have done this. I have stepped on a pine cone and literally given myself a bad, really hurt my ankle. Yeah. Went in and iced it and elevated it for the rest of the day from a pine cone.
Those are sticky too, which makes it even more annoying.
It's like nature's Legos.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, that's a great hike. I got 90 feet from the car and stepped on a pine cone that I saw. And still stepped on it and hurt my ankle. I gotta get back to the old soccer training days and do some ankle resistance training. They're really gotten weak. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, and just get some of those big hiking boots with the ankle support, and just lace them down.
I got to do something. But see, then it would transfer up to my knee, and I don't want to throw out a knee either. I think maybe really what I should do is just binge watch more TV.
Or just more scooters.
That's right.
Get a scootin'.
Yep, it's time to go scooting. This froggy needs to get a scooting.
All right, we do need to get a scooting. Remember, Foo Fighters tickets at 8:30. We have comedians at 8 and 9 o'clock here on the show this morning, and we'll keep things rolling along here. Listen, no one wants to hear the two words Taylor and Swift together less than I do. I'm not into it. The whole Taylor Swift thing doesn't work for me. It doesn't really bother me, but, I'm going to scroll past it if I see it. I'm so glad I clicked on this morning. I'm going to make you guys listen. From the guy that runs the channel There I Ruined It. We've heard masterpieces like Johnny Cash singing Baby Got Back. McCartney and Lennon singing, except there were no humans involved, all artificial intelligence. He's just laid down, I don't know, he or his computer, this artificial intelligence, has just laid down the breakup song that Taylor Swift will perform when her and Travis Kelce break up. I think it's brilliant. And that's coming at 7:30. Hang tight.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I quit this.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 4th. Word on the street. We heard from Mike Evans on the Hollywood Report earlier today on Wednesday. The Wednesday Hollywood Report. He said Taylor Swift will not be traveling to Minnesota for the Vikings-Chiefs game on Sunday.
Oh, man. So we just got to go watch the Chiefs kick our asses without Swift?
By the way, I'm calling my shot right now.
Yeah.
Vikings win.
I agree.
I totally believe the Vikings are going to win.
I think they have a real good shot. This is one of those, they went into Buffalo last year and beat Buffalo, had no business getting that done. Buffalo, not as great last year as people thought they were going to be. But, yeah, I think so, too. And I think this Taylor Swift thing is becoming a bit of a distraction for the players on the field for Kansas City. I think they're kind of getting wrapped up in it. They're talking about it. Mahomes is, we're going to try and get him. These things are a distraction to Super Bowl winning teams. There's a whole litany there are more Super Bowl teams that folded the year after that. Now, I know this team has dynasty written all over it and probably will get there, but awfully distracted because, they've won another Super Bowl, the celebrity, everybody's getting paid, there's parades and
they're men.
Famous girlfriends, they're men. And we're fallible like that. That's champions, I mean.
Pat Riley always said the disease of more. That's what destroys great teams. Everybody gets that ring, and suddenly everybody wants more. I want more shots. I want more catches. I want more at bat, whatever it is. I want more money. I want more headlines. I want more attention. The disease of more gets way in the way of a great, as you said, dynastic team with potentially dynastic ambitions, and a team that should be. In everybody, this is one of the best 5 teams for the last 6 seasons every single year. I promise you, Patrick Mahomes is not distracted by this, but Patrick Mahomes' wife and brother are, because they're used to getting a lot of attention. Mahomes' brother, his little Instagram and TikTok videos, what an annoyance that guy is. And then Patrick's wife is apparently, the scuttlebutt from KC. My syndicated show. I'm on the Fox in Kansas City. I'm on the Chiefs flagship station every Sunday before the game. I don't give expert analysis. We just have a fun thing, and there's some smoke under there. There's some fire where there's that much smoke. Some of the other wives. Let's see what the wives have predicted what Taylor Swift would wear. They're not happy. I'm just saying. That's life in Taylor's universe. We're all just doing what we can to hang on to a bit of sanity. As Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce set new records for people that don't care about football suddenly caring about football.
Isn't wifey happy, though? Aren't they besties and hanging together?
No.
Oh, her and Taylor. No, there was some social media buzz. You know how that goes.
Come on, man. Would you rather hang out with Mahomes' wife or Blake Lively? I mean,
that was worth
Blake,
it. I just like the people that Taylor Swift is bringing along.
Honestly, it was worth it.
Hugh Jackman.
I love that Ryan Reynolds was completely ignored and never mentioned.
Yeah.
I love him so much.
I guarantee you, no one loved it more than him.
I'm going to go ahead and Google Blake Lively.
Oh, you're kidding?
So
Enjoy yourself.
Oh, my God.
All right, we'll see Zepp in the next segment. No, but so it's inevitable, and of course the word on the street is this is a PR relationship. So maybe Travis Kelce will be the one guy that escapes without a scathing song written about him. Maybe it's a relationship built for the headlines, but maybe at the same time, maybe that's still not even enough. Maybe she'll still feel jilted or hurt at the end of it.
I'm sure I've heard a Taylor Swift song before.
You've absolutely heard a Taylor Swift song.
The elevator, the men's pisser.
We are never, ever, 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 ever getting back together.
Ever.
Oh.
Yeah, you've heard Taylor Swift.
Oh.
You don't know how much you've heard Taylor Swift. I've seen Taylor Swift 4 times in concert.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Father of the Year is what that is.
Yeah, I've sent my
Father
daughters
of
to Taylor
4 different
Swift.
years.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, and I'll say this with my hand on my heart in a court of law, incredible shows every time. Yeah. I walk in there like, okay, here we go. And
now I don't know what to think about Peter Gabriel's show.
No,
I mean, was it as good as that? Taylor Swift, Peter Gabriel on tour together?
It's you're comparing cricket and baseball. Okay, I mean they both have bats, they both have balls, very different goals, very different things in mind. No, but for what they're going for, equally impressive on the delivery of the execution of a plan. Put it that way. I don't.
American Treasures.
I wouldn't go see Taylor Swift without my daughter, and now that she's 21, I'm not going again. I don't. She's good to go on her own. This year I didn't see it, but as a much younger child, yes, I would accompany her. And but whereas Peter Gabriel, I'd go, full on. I'd go see him again tonight if I could. So there's an answer to your question, tough guy.
I should marry
Blake Lively. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't catch a lot of that, but Blake Lively. Yeah, she's smoking.
What did I say? Phenomenal. I said, would see you later. If you Google Blake Lively, you're done. We were talking to you a few minutes ago about things we do that are actually kind of unsafe. Now, I have a long list of reasons why I never want to live in a trailer park, and they all start with the word tornado. As a Southern gentleman, I've just seen what happens when tornadoes land near trailer parks. I have a whole new reason never to be near a trailer park in Oklahoma, and that's because a trailer park in a South Oklahoma City, well, there's some malfeasance afoot. An awful lot of house pets, cats specifically, have gone missing because a 13-foot-long python is wreaking a one-snake reign of terror over a trailer park. Guys, these pythons, these boa constrictors, yeah, they're cute when they're 1 foot long, I guess, to some people. We got to keep them under wraps. Someone has sprung a python loose, and for months, people have they're missing their smaller pets.
Man, cats can put up a fight too.
You know what? They really can, and they're quick. My God, if you watch the videos I do, I go down the YouTube rabbit hole on, snakes that strike at cats, but cats see it coming and get out of the way. They have the quickest reaction times. Glad you said that. For a python to catch a cat, man, that cat's got to be used to getting a lot of treats and snacks, and he's gotten lazy in his old age maybe, or boy, those pythons are just hungry. Make no mistake, I never step past an opportunity to talk about snakes and how much I hate them.
So this is a classic pet that people get, that when it gets too big, they just cut it loose, right? And they get out there and they just start eating people's pets. What else is there to eat in the neighborhood? The telephone poles are just covered with, have you seen Fluffy?
Yeah,
have you seen
right.
Mr. Jingle?
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's being pooped out of a snake's butt.
The only thing worse than a reticulated python wreaking havoc in a neighborhood is the fact that this is an albino reticulated python.
Oh, sick.
So that just freaks me out even more.
That's sick, dude.
Because against the white scales, whatever color those evil eyes are probably pops that much more. I'm remember the cartoon of there was it's in Jungle Book or one of those Disney movies when I was a kid. There was always that scene where like a quail or a dove, some very peaceful bird, gets a snake. She looks into the eyes of a snake and freezes.
Oh, that was Ka the snake.
It's Ka the snake, exactly.
Hypnotized.
Yeah, hypnotized, traumatized to me as a kid seeing that. And when I see snakes in the wild, I literally just stop. I freeze. Just like,
yeah, they're creepy suckers.
I was hanging out with a snake this weekend.
Yeah, that's because you're weird.
Yeah, I know. But it's my friend Mike has a snake. I don't know what kind of snake it is, but he's really nice. He's really friendly. His name is Ozzy, and yeah, he's just hanging out with my friend the whole time, and he's real soft.
Sure he is. That's how they suck you in. Yeah, they're all soft. I'm gonna descale before I see Candace. And then shed this skin, so she's going to think I'm soft and cuddly.
Yeah, and then it's 13 feet long, and where's Gigi?
That's exactly right.
Yes, then I asked him, I was like, how old is this snake? And it's still a baby, kind of. He's like 6 or something. But he's going to live until he's 60. So my friend Mike is
Not
like, I'm going to have to.
If he comes in this studio, he won't.
He's like, my friend Mike said he's going to have to put his snake in his will because he's probably going to outlive him.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, just let it loose.
Let me tell you
freaky?
something.
60 years?
No,
that's crazy.
That's what fire pits are for.
Yeah.
I got no time for a 60-year-old. I have no time for a 6-year-old snake. I don't know. Just something. Get rid of it. I don't like snakes.
Need some fancy boots.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, man.
Snakes.
What is it? Is it a boa or a python?
I don't know. It's boas. I think are way big, right? It wasn't that big.
Boa constrictors. So they get very big, as do pythons, as do anacondas.
It was friendly. I don't know.
What makes a snake friendly?
No.
It didn't try to eat us.
The worst is the king cobra. I still can't get over how big they are.
Yeah.
Right. Venomous snakes are not supposed to be that big, and those things are huge. And when they whip out that hood and get all wide around the neck, I'm telling you, man,
they're amazing.
No, when I have walked into zoo, and here's my problem: when I go to a zoo, I go into the reptile house. I have to go see them because I feel like if I don't see them, then they'll sneak up on me or something. It's like so primal, and I will go stand there. We took the kids to the zoo once, and Rosemary at some point she's like, "Babe, you got to get out of here because I'm staring at a venomous asp from somewhere in the world." And I was like transfixed. I get really weirded out by them, but I have to go in and look at them.
Maybe in a previous life you were in ancient Egypt.
I think in a lot of previous lives I had some problems with reptiles.
I'm Googling where they sell.
You need to get a pet mongoose.
My favorite animals.
The nemesis.
And by the way, in the U.S. Virgin Islands, this is why they're so wonderful, crawling with mongooses or mongoose.
Really?
Because, there was a big rat problem, and some genius said, well, we'll bring the mongoose in. They'll take care of the rats. Mm-hmm. Well, the mongoose are diurnal, and the rats are nocturnal, so they just live next door to each other.
In peace.
They're like the dog. They're like the cartoon where the one guy punches the clock, the wolf and the sheepdog or whatever.
Sam and
They
Wiley.
punch the clock. The mongoose are literally like, yeah, take a nap. And the rat goes, here, I kept it warm for you. And they just all hang out.
Yeah, that's what happened before we had Google. No one could sit down and Google that.
That's exactly what happened before we had
We had to
Google.
learn the hard way. All right, gang, comedians, we have a real live professional comedian here for you at 8 o'clock. Blake Lively will join us. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October 4th. In a few moments, we're going to be joined by the very funny Nimesh Patel, who has a show in town this weekend. He's at the State Theater on the 7th. A very funny gentleman will be checking in with us. I look forward to speaking with him. We just heard Aerosmith, of course. And, you know, here's the funny thing about Steven Tyler with his fractured larynx, or I should say funny or just kind of weird. Really difficult to do without impact. Like a fractured larynx is something that almost always happens when you get hit in a tackle in a football game or in a car crash, and there's been no report of a fall or anything. So I'm not suggesting maybe that didn't happen, but we haven't heard the reason, but there's no explanation for how my man fractured his larynx. The Aerosmith tour now put off very much indefinitely till sometime in 24. Whispers, rumors, stories being told that that's just done.
Well,
I'm just saying, I'm not calling that shot. I'm telling you, a lot of people I've spoken to say, the kind of people who hear things, say that's done.
Yeah.
Maybe a scarf was tied too tight.
You never really know, do you? As I just mentioned, Nimesh Patel is at the State Theater in town this, what is that, Saturday night the 7th? Or is that Friday night? I got to look at the calendar.
Saturday.
It's Saturday the 7th. I should have trusted myself. Thank you, Candace. And he joins us on the horn right now. Nimesh, good morning.
Good morning. How are you guys?
We're good. Thank you very much. I'm really happy to talk to you, sir. When you're on the road traveling around as you do, what do you do during the day? Are you a museum guy? Are you looking for a breakfast burrito, something in the middle? How do you pass your day before you get on stage?
I'm looking for the best Indian food that I can find. It's been a point of mine to find the best Indian food in a lot of these cities, and I hate to tell you that's been pretty disappointing.
well, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Parsippany, New Jersey, which might as well be Little India. And obviously, an Indian mom delivers quite well.
Yeah, sure.
Minneapolis, you guys have any recommendations?
I'm trying to think of the Gorka place.
Yeah, Palace. Gorka Palace.
I'm sorry. Thank you. I was just there, too.
Yeah, just a mile from where we now sit, Gorka Palace will set you free.
Spice and Tom.
You've got a high bar we've got to reach, but that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, the harder to pronounce the name, the better the food is. That's a restaurant that's confident in its abilities. They're not trying to cater to non-Indian palates. Like, we believe in our food. It's spread the word.
Hey man,
in Minneapolis, I had my first cheeseburger. The Juicy Lucy.
Yes,
sure. Yeah, how'd that work for you?
Later, I had to run the bathroom. I had myself a little Lucy Juicy, if you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
It was a good one, then.
It did the job. I share your affinity for Indian food. I did not grow up with an Indian mother, but boy, I wish I had, because the first time I had Indian food is the first time I thought, I've been missing something for all these years. Have you toured much in the UK? Are you a fan? I mean, I am sure you've been to the UK.
Oh, yeah. I was just in London at the beginning of the month. I went to steal back my diamonds from the Queen. It didn't work out as well as I thought.
No?
But that's some good Indian food. They know what they're doing. They stole some culture. They stole our good food. It's worked out fine, though.
Oh, no. They've been appropriating since before we'd ever heard the word. So, they got that going on. Nimesh, nothing makes me laugh quite like testicular cancer. I mean, so. Well, actually, no, that's not funny at all unless, of course, it happens to someone else who can then turn it into comedy. Your new special on your new stand-up special on YouTube, Lucky Lefty, or I lost my right nut and all I got was this stupid special. I think we can connect those dots. Are you okay now?
I'm perfectly fine. You know, I didn't want to talk about it, but my therapist told me to grow a pair. And so I spent about 45 minutes. This next hour that I'm starting that I started in London, actually, and performing at State Theater this Saturday. Completely different stuff. It's all going to be very silly nonsense. I think I'm very tired of talking about. You'd be surprised how little people's attention span is when it comes to men's private parts.
Sure. Well, yeah. I mean, hey, man, you got to have some ball to get up there and do a whole new set of material.
You guys are on fire this morning. That's happened to a couple of buddies. They had to freeze some sperm. They didn't have kids yet. Do you have to freeze some sperm?
You had a couple of buddies? What's going on in Minneapolis?
I don't know. It's the Indian. It's in the Indian food.
It's too much beer in the softball. It's too much beer in that beer league, I think. People are just swing and a miss, and boom, next thing you know.
I know they were all freaked out. They had to freeze their sperm.
No, I didn't have to do that. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't even want to know what the process is. You've had quite a run for a long time behind the scenes. You wrote for Saturday Night Live. Is it the powder keg experience that everyone always describes it as, or was it? How was that for you?
I was the first Indian hired there, also the first Indian fired there. I think I ate too much Indian food on Thursdays, but it was a fantastic experience. It is definitely one of those high pressure jobs, but it's also like every Saturday you're creating culture. Every Monday people were talking about, oh my God, did you see that Weekend Update show? I wrote an update, which in my opinion is the funnest part of the show. Che and Joe Star are incredible. They have such good chemistry, and those joke swaps are like the funniest thing you could possibly experience being a part of. And I was a small part of that history, and I'm very happy and proud to have been part of it.
It doesn't get any bigger for American comedy television, that's for sure. And ever have any interest in getting on camera in sketches or as an actor otherwise?
Oh, man, I was trying. I hate to get political, but I really hope Vivek Ramaswamy wins the election. I hate him as a candidate, but I really want to play him on SNL. I really, I got the same receding hairline.
Sure.
I got that goofy, juicy, Lucy eating grin.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping. I hate him as a candidate, but
Well, hey, man. I mean, the only thing. I mean, people would immediately start confusing the two of you together. Other than that $1 billion discrepancy, I imagine.
Oh yeah. I mean, people think, I'm just jealous that he has $1 billion and I don't. If I was jealous of everyone that had more money than me, I would be jealous of every person I know. It's just not representative of what I think Indian people are in this country. But I'm rooting for him because
I hear you.
That sweet SNL check.
Well, that's pretty great. Let's maybe a cabinet position. You'll still get a gig out of there. We don't necessarily need him in the top seat. This Saturday night, the State Theater here in downtown Minneapolis, Nimesh Patel will be appearing. So you grew up in what was the town in New Jersey?
Parsippany, New Jersey. And
was it a mostly Indian area, Indian American or Indian area?
When I was growing up, it's named after the Native American kind of Indian that's now run by my kind of Indian.
Right.
When I was there, we were some of the first Indian people there, and now the property values have gone through the roof because it's all just people that commute to New York and software programmers and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Proud to be Parsippany's very own.
So, what did you do growing up? You playing sports? Was there did you bring? what was the story here?
Did I play sports?
Hey, man, I gotta try.
Do you count acing chemistry and biology as sport? Maybe running away from people that I made fun of for doing poorly in class.
Well, all right.
He's a sprinter.
Okay, so look, as long as you're the chemistry and you're the classic, this trope of the brilliant Indian, the son of immigrants or grandson of immigrants. Spelling bee ever? Any work on the spelling bee as a kid?
Oh man, like this is the thing I wrestle with all the time. Like I grow up, people always ask, how come you don't do a lot of Indian material, which I don't. And it's because, I never really fully felt Indian. Like, people always say, you got to get spelling bees correct, right? You must have killed spelling bees. In second grade, I had the spelling bee. I spelled the most Indian word possible incorrectly. I spelled paid wrong. Payed is how I spelled it, and I had a bunch of Indian kids in class yell out, "What are you going to spell wrong next? Gold?" You know? So embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. But yeah, no, I was not a spelling bee champ at all. I think I just crumbled under the pressure at the time.
Man, so much for the street cred, huh?
Yeah. But hey, I'm here. I'm trying to spell words correctly, but now I'm taking pride in spelling words wrong and saying words incorrectly. That's why I'm a comedian.
That's all it takes. It's all it takes. Just you gotta know your strengths. More important to know your weaknesses in this life, I guess.
Yes, sir.
So, you wrote. You also did you write for Jimmy Fallon, or am I getting that wrong?
No. No one could write for Jimmy Fallon. No, I'm just kidding. I was on the show last summer. It was me and Coldplay on the same show, and so I think I got a little overshadowed by that. I met Chris Martin. He's the Cold in Coldplay in the bathroom, and I couldn't resist the urge because we were both, peeing at the same time at the urinals, and I couldn't resist the urge to ask him if his pee was clear, if it was all yellow. And he looked me dead in the eyes and said, "Whenever you're performing a show, I'll be in the same town stealing your tickets." And that proved to be true. He did Vancouver when I was there. He did Seattle when I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, don't cross Martin.
Do not cross Chris Martin. He seems like a nice guy, but he'll come for you.
Jeez, no kidding. Well, he named a human being Apple, so he's got a dark side,
Yeah.
He let that one go. Nimesh Patel is at the State Theater this Saturday night. I guess he's going to be at Gorka Palace Saturday afternoon, checking out our recommendation. Hey, man, it is an absolute pleasure to speak with you. We hope you have a great trip to the Twin Cities. We're actually, you know what? I'm telling you straight up, we would be at the show. We're out of town on a radio trip this weekend, so I'm sorry to say we're going to miss you, but I hope you have a great time.
Oh, thank you guys so much for having me. I'll hope to talk to you guys at some point soon.
Anytime, brother. We appreciate it.
Enjoy, guys. Thank you.
See ya. The problem with that conversation, and I am long on the record of my final meal on this planet, if things go to plan, will be an Indian meal, is I am now flat out starving.
Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry, man.
Yeah, man, that just winds me up. That's a funny guy. I saw him on Jimmy Fallon just coincidentally when we heard he was playing. I was like, wait, I know that guy. And then I looked it up. I was like, oh, I just happened to see him last year. And then I watched not this new Lucky, what's it called, Lucky Lefty, his previous YouTube special. He's built up a massive career with his own YouTube channel. He just posts his own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of done it on his own, if you will, not the traditional path for comedians, but he sells tickets like crazy. I mean, the people that know him love him. He does very, very well. And I love one joke on the new special that I did see where he said he just said he was in a bathroom and a guy said, "Are you waiting in line?" And he said, "No, I just like to watch." And I thought to myself, I'm taking that one with me. Yeah, I will use that because I've always wondered about that. When you're at a ball game or a concert and you're in line, you're in the bathroom's full, and someone's like, "Are you in line?" It's like, what do you think I'm doing here?
Yeah, well, just loitering, hanging around.
I was at Fenway Park years ago at a Red Sox, game. And I was standing on the monster, the left field wall, the giant, the iconic green wall. Sure. And there's some seats above the monster now. And if you're seated in that area, you go back. Because it's such an old stadium, they just kind of had to herky-jerky find some bathrooms back there. So they have trailers. It's hard to describe. But it basically looks like, it's not porta-johns, but it's like a porta-trailer full of urinals back there. And it's a little weird setup, and there's just a door in and out. It's not like the walk-in one, come out the other. And I was the most Boston thing ever. Late innings of the game, and I'm standing in line, and the door opens, and the guy's walking out, and then the guy that tries to walk in, they do that thing where they almost bump heads, and then one guy goes to his left, which is the other guy's right. They do that dance step back and forth, like 3 or 4 times, and they're both kind of hammered. You know what I mean? And I'm watching them, and both gentlemen are bald. And they both stop, and they kind of laugh. And one guy says to the other, he goes, "I'm sorry, man. Hey, you got a comb I can borrow?"
No.
Like.
Funny.
And the guy he says that to goes, "You want to say that again? You got a problem with my bald head?" And the first guy looks at me and goes, "Hey, asshole, I'm bald too."
Different levels of drunk, however.
And they stared at each other for 2 seconds, and then they both burst into laughter and hugged.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, boy, that's Boston in a nutshell.
That's weird.
So
They're fighting and hugging like no one's business in that city.
So I stay out of that town.
There's a lot of reasons I stay out of that town.
I know. All right, Foo or Fortune, that's the name of the game here at 8:30. Right now on the Maple Grove Lock and Safe Talk and Text Line. Callers 902-651-989-ROCK for tickets to see the Foo Fighters, Pretenders, and L7 Sunday. That's July 28th at Target Field. Prize provided by Live Nation. Those tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. And our runner-up today gets Minnesota Wild home opener tickets for real games when the Panthers come to town. That's happening on Thursday, October 12th at the Excel. That prize provided by the Minnesota Wild. 651-989-ROCK. Dial up. Good luck and hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 4th. The Foo Fighters are coming to Target Field July 28th, 2024. And we're about to give away a couple of tickets to go see them bad boys. Okay, so let's go back a few years. Remember the Foo Fighters, among the many wonderfully hilarious things they've done, they started performing Rick Astley's "Never Gonna Give You Up, Never Gonna Let You Down." They were Rick rolling the world for a while. They figured out that song, and then they were, I believe it was the Mount Fuji Festival in Japan. Rick Astley came out on stage with them.
That's right.
And sang it. So they have this association. Rick Astley and his band last weekend at a festival in Europe busted out Everlong.
Oh, cool.
And it's really good. They played the living snot out of it. So, yeah, I mean, come on. Who would have thought Rick Astley gets a whole new lease on life from an association with a rock band? But that's the magic of Dave Grohl. What are you going to do? Yeah. So, like I said, Foo Fighters here next summer, July 28th, with the Pretenders and L7. Also, the Minnesota Wild have kicked off the preseason. We've got tickets to see them with their actual home opener against the Florida Panthers Thursday, October 12th. We're just giving stuff away left and right around here. We're going to play a great game today. Tony Lee, that game is?
It is great. Still another Foo Fighters themed listener game. So, where do we go from here? Well, of course, we go to Foo or Fortune. Well,
oh, my God.
We're going to read a line or two, and you tell us, did it come from Foo Fighters lyrics or from a fortune cookie? It's fun. Let's play Foo or Fortune.
God, all we're doing today is making me hungrier. I would eat a fortune cookie the size of my foot right now. All right, that's it. We got Foo or Fortune. We got two contestants ready to rock it. Candace, who is caller number one?
We have Grant from White Bear.
Grant, good morning. Hello, Grant.
Grant?
Are you Grant? Hello? Are you with us?
Hello.
There you go.
Hello.
We got you.
Good morning.
Are you a Foo Fighters fan?
Yes.
Do you like fortune cookies?
I love fortune cookies.
Oh, boy. Those are both great answers. Well, you're gonna play a game right now, and if you win this bad boy, Foo Fighters tickets will be in your hand. The game is Foo or Fortune. Tony will take it over from here. Good luck, sir.
Grant, does this come from Foo Fighters lyrics or from a fortune cookie? The line, there are some things you cannot choose, soul and spirit moving through.
Foo Fighters.
Yes, it is.
Sir. Do we know what song that's from?
Yes, it's from The Teacher.
Oh, okay. Oh, the latest album. It's about Dave's mom, I believe.
How about that?
All right.
How about that?
How about that? Number 2, admire a rose, but beware its thorns.
Oh, boy.
Fortune.
Yes.
Wow. And Bret Michaels.
Number 3, it's times like these you learn to live again. It's times like these you give and give again.
That'd be a Foo.
It is a Foo.
That is a Foo.
From times like these. And your last one, Mr. Man. If born under the year of the rat, you are lucky now, and that is that.
Fortune.
Good job.
I pity the fool who doesn't know that one. Well done, Grant. 4 for 4. My man's already lacing up them rock shoes for next summer. Good luck to you. Let's see if 4 for 4 is going to do it or if we'll have to go to a tiebreaker. Hang on, Grant. We'll be back in a minute. Candace, who is contestant number 2?
All right. We have Sue Ann from Cottage Grove.
Sue Ann, good morning.
Morning.
Are you a Foo Fighters fan?
I am.
All right. Have you ever seen them before?
I have not. No.
Oh, well, what would be better than a summer eve at Target Field with the Foo Fighters? We wish you the best of luck. Tony, take it away.
Susie Q, here's the first one. In your moments of decision, your destiny awaits.
Foo Fighters?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
That is from a fortune cookie.
Damn.
Oh, no.
Well, we're going to play out the string. We're going to see how you do.
Sure. Number 2, the sky is a neighborhood, so keep it down. The heart is a storybook, a star burned out.
Fortune cookie?
Sorry, it's Fooey.
Dang, if I got that in a fortune cookie, I'd want a refund. Just saying. That's a little too much for me. Give me some lottery numbers and say something about a peacock.
All right, Sue's number 3. Egg rolls now half price.
Fortune cookie.
Nice, yes.
There we go.
And your last one, don't be pushed by problems, be led by dreams.
I'm going to say fortune cookie.
Yes, you did well.
But you know what? But I could totally see that in a Foo Fighter song, too.
Hence the challenge of this fine game.
And you know what? It would be, you know how they bring it down before the chorus? It'd be like, don't be my problem. And then it would blow up like that. Dave, maybe we can write that for Dave for next summer. Sue Ann, you went 3 for 4, which is great. Well played, but not good enough for the Foo Fighters tickets. However, you do have Minnesota Wild home opener versus the Florida Panthers October the 12th. That's next Thursday. Hope you have a great time. Grant, my man, you have 2 for the Foo next summer at Target Field. Congratulations, sir.
Oh, thank you. That is so awesome.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well played. Have a great time. That's going to be nice. Isn't that going to be nice?
Oh, he's happy. Makes us feel good.
It's weird, like you say next summer, but it's this summer. Because this summer is, the current summer is over.
Right. So what are you saying?
Like
I should say
this summer.
No, it's not this summer.
Yeah, it's it's upcoming.
Honey, look at the calendar. There's a 3 right now. There's going to be a 4
but the next summer
year.
Kids.
Summer.
Next summer is not 2025. Next summer is 2024.
What?
Do you know
I
what?
got
You know
that
what?
wrong.
You know what's in between now and next summer?
Oh gosh.
Winter.
Winter
is coming. Winter.
Whole lot of snow.
There's
That's
going to be a lot
coming. I'll tell you right now.
Gosh.
We've got winter weather coming. We've got to prepare ourselves.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, exactly. Telling me I don't know what next summer
Well,
is.
I'm just,
That settles that.
I'm so excited. I got my tickets. I'm just really excited. Stop it.
You stop it.
I've mentioned I have my nephew Jeff Gorman is his name. He's got a band called Illiterate Light. They're from Harrisonburg, Virginia. Great band. They played the 7th Street Entry. They're playing the Turf Club in the spring.
Are they?
Next spring, this spring, in 24.
Must see.
Great band, a tremendous band. And my nephew Jeff grew up a giant Foo Fighters fan. Grohl's one of his guys, right? That perfect generation where it's like this is one of the dudes. My former band, the Black Crowes, we were playing in Washington, D.C., I'm going to say 13, 14 years ago. And before the show, I'm in the dressing room. My brother Jim and his 2 sons are there. My nephew Jeff, who's a musician already, a college student, writing songs, loves Dave Grohl. He steps into the bathroom in the dressing room. And at the moment he steps into the bathroom, Grohl enters the dressing room. Hey, what's up? Good to see you. How you doing? And he goes, man, I really got to pee. I said, I think that room's occupied right now. And Grohl walks over to the dressing room's bathroom door, and he pounds on it with both fists as hard as he possibly can and screams, "Let me in, I have to pee." Like the funniest thing I've ever seen. And then I know it's even funnier because he has no idea who's in there. He doesn't know if it's the singer in my band or someone's mom. He's just being Dave. And that door opens, and my nephew's freaked out, like, oh my God, who's yelling at me? And he opens the door, and it's his hero on the planet, Dave Grohl.
Oh my God.
Love
And
that.
the look, if I could have, and no one caught that moment with a photograph, but if I could have one picture of my nephew Jeff, it would be as he opened that door, already freaked out, probably peed on himself, zipping his zipper up so quickly because he was, he's like a teenager. And he opens the door, and it's Dave Grohl. And he goes, "What took you so long?" He's just screaming at him. That was one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
That's amazing.
I've had a lot of moments with Grohl that are hilarious. And then one more, as long as we're here. I went to see him in Memphis a few years ago, and I drive over from Nashville. We get to the gig, me and a buddy, and I go into the dressing room before the show, and I see Dave. He's like, "Hey," hops up. We walk up, we give a big hug, and I look over his shoulder, and there's a big chair in the dressing room, like a very nice, not like a folding chair or a plastic chair. It was like a lounge chair you'd have in like you'd see it in someone's parlor, like in a nice house. And sitting in that chair is Winona Judd. She of the Judds, the daughter of the Judds, the one with the pipes. And she is, it looks like she's about to go on stage. I mean, she's made up, dressed up, the whole thing. And as I'm hugging Dave, I go very quietly, "Why is Winona Judd here?" And he says to me, "I have no idea."
Oh, that's great.
He goes, "She just showed up. She's really nice. She just wanted to hang out." And I'm like, and so he goes, "It's Winona Judd. What am I going to say? No." Right? And I was like, "That's why you're Dave Grohl."
He's the coolest.
He is the coolest. I was like, man, that's awesome. That guy gets Winona Judd. And by the way, Motorhead was the opening band that night.
Yeah.
This is a little long. I said it was a few years ago. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's like 2011. And I saw for a quick moment Lemmy and Winona as they were introduced to each other. And I was like, I'm not going to take a picture because I'd look like a dork, but I really wanted that picture.
Oh, where does the chit chat go?
Oh man, it was. I have a feeling that was two people who didn't understand a word the other said. You've got something on your face. Oh yeah. Well, look at dress you're wearing. Who knows? Who knows what the hell they were saying to each other? That's great. Now I'm excited for the Foo Fighters. I've talked myself into getting excited.
Get on my level, Steve.
I got to get on your level, Candace.
It's gonna be dope. I got a crew going with me. I got 8 people, 8 tickets.
That's pretty.
Lower level.
Yeah. That's exciting.
Just a hair over $100. Not too bad. I was expecting more, so I'm fine with that.
Oh, that's great. I'm going to go for free and go backstage with a laminate. But anyway, listen, that's me.
I'm Steve Gorman.
That's how I roll.
I'm Steve Gorman. I'm so cool.
At 1:20 Central today, I didn't say it, you did. At 1:20 Central today, our phones and our laptops and our TVs are all going to go crazy. There is a test of the, what is it called? The emergency alert system. Wireless emergency alerts going to every phone, every TV, every laptop, basically, in the country, just to remind us that we're being watched. No, to make sure that the system works in case a national emergency needs to be alerted. And if we need to be alerted to a national emergency, it's just a test of the system. So at 1:20, don't be surprised when you get a notification. Everybody's going to get the same notification. And correct me if I'm wrong, Zep, but that's all it is.
Yeah, that's it. You're just supposed to ignore it, they said. Just, no. But what if, by some cosmic coincidence, some really goes down? I mean, they're like, no, this one, no, wait. Oh, do you just chase it with another one right after that?
Well, I'm thinking more about the fact that it's going to turn some people into zombies.
Yeah,
is what I've heard.
Well, that would be cool. But
a lot of rumors flying.
Our government isn't that imaginative. I just don't think they're going to, what's the point? Every time you make someone a zombie, that's not a taxpayer. You're losing a taxpayer.
It's very true. It's amazing. If I were calling the shots for the U.S. government, and I knew people thought that we had serviced. Let's see, graphene oxide, which is what the rumors are. There's a term called. People are saying there's graphene oxide. It was in the vaccine, and this emergency system alert is going to trigger it, and it's going to turn people into zombies. If I were running the government, I would be thrilled that somebody thought I could pull that off.
Yeah, right, exactly.
You skeptic, don't you remember Y2K?
Oh, we're still recovering from that, aren't we?
That was a grape juice New Year's Eve for us. Wife was pregnant. I was being a nice guy. And I thought, I'm gonna usher in the end of a civilization so totally sober. And then, of course, nothing happened.
Yeah, I know, how anticlimactic.
Yeah, well. Well, hey, maybe today's the Y2K. Maybe we fix it all. Maybe we get some zombie action today.
If I'm the Rooskies, that's when I hit the button at 1:20 Central Time, right? You launch the nukes at 1:20 because no one's going to see it coming.
That's a very, 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 very good point.
Don't forget to look up. All right, we have more funny people for you this morning at 9 o'clock. Tim Slagle and a mystery comic, I guess, are coming in to promote Acme's Crash and Burn event happening this week. Hang tight.
It's the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS. Zep, Tony, Candace, and Steve Gorman are the KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. It is Wednesday, October the 4th. Going on at Acme Comedy Club right now, something called Crash and Burn 12. Tim Slagle is putting that on. It started last night. It's going on through the 7th. And Tim Slagle, along with one of his merry band of pranksters, one of his comics, it's a whole show. We're going to speak with them in just a few minutes. They're on the way in, and we'll give you the rundown. But basically, 4 headliners spend a week at Acme writing 20 minutes of new material. And we're going to get caught up with that, how that started off, and what you can look forward to if you're heading over to Acme over the next few days. In the meantime, here's a quick reminder. Peter Gabriel is an icon for good reason. His show last night at the XL Energy Center was spectacular. I truly loved it. Anybody that got tickets from KQ, hopefully you felt as good as I did about that show. I'm still buzzing. I had a very late night, and I'm wide awake because I keep thinking back to the show and all the things that show very sincerely, without any snark at all. It just brought an awful lot to the fore. A lot of things to think about, a lot of things to feel. Peter Gabriel's a pretty special fella. Before that happened, the Twins broke through, finally, yesterday afternoon. Holy smokes. How about that? Yeah. After a postseason drought dating back years and years, it was 18 straight losses in the postseason before the Twins broke through yesterday to take a 1-0 lead over those pesky Blue Jays from Toronto. Game 2. What time is game 2 today?
3:38.
Same thing as yesterday. 3:38. Yeah. And they can put this to bed today with a win. If not, they have game 3. But if they win today, it's on to face the Astros from Houston, I believe, would be awaiting the winner of this series. I could be wrong.
Yeah, no, I believe you're right.
I believe that's correct. So, well done, Twins. Woo! The vibe at Target Field yesterday, I have to imagine just this side of pure euphoria.
Yeah, on the TV you could sense just, that other player, that intangible that Minnesotans bring when they get all whipped up, and they brought it game 1 of the wild card series. This is after the game.
What happened in there?
They won. They won. They won. They freaking won. The curse is over. 18 years. It's done. We won.
That sums it up. That sums up the feelings of Twins fans. Congratulations. Go Twins! But Royce Lewis is the guy because he hit 2 home runs for the Twins today. First Twin to do it since Gary Gaetti back in '87 against Detroit in Game 1 of the ALCS. And this is what 18 games of frustration looks like. Look at this. I'm going to go before someone hurts me.
It's pretty great. I love when he asks the guy, what happened in there? It's like he's expecting the fan to go, well, we jumped on their pitching early, and then we locked it down. Correa's, that recovery play from Correa at the plate was really, that's special. That shows the value if he has. And really, the bullpen came in, and the guy just goes, we won!
Yeah, that's it.
Let's go to Cowboy Jacks!
Raw
fantastic.
Emotion. Sunny Gray today. I don't know much about this pitcher for Toronto. Sonny Gray's had a pretty good season. I think he's about 500 in the win-loss and with a pretty decent ERA. But I don't know much about this Jose Barrios for Toronto they're going up against today. But seems like a pretty solid matchup. We'll find out. Could close her down tonight. Let's hope there's not a game on Thursday. Sorry if you're holding those tickets.
I'm a Sonny Gray guy. I'm down with him. He's gonna. I think he's gonna close the door today.
He has
on
a
the Blue
slurve
Jays.
pitch. He's not he doesn't throw the big heater. I did watch him pitch once this season in person. He's got that I don't know. We didn't have a pitch called that, but they called it the slurve pitch. I never want to have to swing around on a slurve.
There was I've mentioned this before. I saw Sonny in college a few times. He pitched for
Tennessee.
Vanderbilt University.
That's right.
Vanderbilt down in Nashville. And I saw him pitch on a number of occasions. And my God, it was, and a great college baseball program. There's few things more fun than college baseball in person because unlike the Major League dugouts, like they sing songs, they have chants going in the dugout. It's very collegiate rah-rah by design. And the kid, super cheap tickets. Used to take the kids out to the Vanderbilt ballpark and check it out. Sonny Gray was always a total baller. And you can imagine, at that level, at 21, 22 years old, he was just playing a game that not too many other players in the SEC were keeping up with. You know what I mean? Like he had Major League prospect written all over him. I grew up with a kid who pitched for years in the Reds organization, had a few minutes in the bigs, but then really after a long time in AAA, had an injury, never recovered. This kid from Kentucky named David Joyner, and he didn't have a slurve, Zep, but I was watching a Little League game. It was like Babe Ruth, like 8th graders. And his dad was his coach, and he was pitching, and he was just crushing everybody. But late in the game, he started getting tired, and they had like they had a guy at first, 2 outs, needed the out to finish the game. And I'll never forget it. This coach stood up. He goes, David, he goes, give him the wrinkle. That's what he said loud. Give him the wrinkle. And the kid looked at his dad like, no, well, you said I can't do that. And he goes, give him the wrinkle. And this dude threw a curveball that broke what looked like 26 feet. And the kid at the plate, the bat never even left his shoulder. And that the ump took a full strike. It was this pitch no one knew this kid had. His dad don't even use it, and he brought it out one time and the game ended. And for years, me and my buddies that were there, we had always, anytime there was a situation that called for something, it was give him the wrinkle.
Yeah.
It was like local legend right away.
The kid at the plate hears that interchange too, and that freaks you out a little bit. There's a whole big, it's a mental thing being at the plate. It's a mental thing being on the mound. There's a lot of physicality. You have to have the hand speed and the eye coordination and all that jazz. But it's really about what's in your head. And when you hear the wrinkles coming in at that age, I remember playing catcher in little leagues. I got a little bit older. I moved to the infield, but I wanted to play catcher so bad. When I was a little kid, just put on all the gear, right?
Sure.
And Johnny Bench was my hero back then. And, And so anyway, I got in there, and I'll never forget it. Freaked all of us out in Little League when we went up against a pitcher that had a second pitch. We're like, what?
Of course.
I'm talking to the catcher. He goes, I give him a 1 for a fastball and 2 for the curve. I'm like, wait, what? You're doing what? We didn't have any calls. There was just one pitch. Tony, can you get it over the plate?
Yeah,
Tony Dunnick or Corey Tyler. Can you try and get it over the plate? We didn't. This kid had a curveball, man, which you're not supposed to really be throwing when you're young like that.
No, that's the thing.
If you're just going to pull it out once, why
not?
That's
that's the thing. And to your point, I love the idea of the kid who's sitting there and hears that exchange. And it's one thing for the coach to call for the wrinkle. It's the other thing for the pitcher to go, no, I'm not supposed to. That's the part that terrifies you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're that kid.
And he pulled it off.
Yeah, he certainly did pull it off. Hey, look at this. Walking into the studio, sitting down like they own the world. Who needs clock? Let's see. Tim Slagle is in the studio for the second time in a brief period of time. And Tim, you have brought along, is it Miele?
Yeah.
Liz Miele is also along with Tim Slagle. Crash and Burn 12 is happening at the Acme Comedy Club. That young man's name is Chauncey, in case you're wondering, Liz.
I love him.
He's a good fella. And as it works today, you guys are on one mic. You're going back and forth, so enjoy that process.
Oh, that's okay. Liz is much better at talking than I am.
No, but we can be like singers. We can duet. This is fun.
Do you mind? That'd be fantastic. So Crash and Burn 12 is happening at Acme. I guess it kicked off last night. It's going through Saturday the 7th. Here's the deal. 4 headliners spend a week at Acme writing 20 minutes of new material. Okay, specify 20 minutes together. Each guy comes up with their own 20. What's happening here?
Yeah, we each come in with 20.
Right.
We don't necessarily come in with 20.
Yeah. Come in. You come in with the cliff notes.
Come in with our notebooks.
Yeah.
And we have to stay on stage for 20. So that's kind of the fun thing. It's one of the rules is you're not allowed to get off early.
So, okay. Yeah. Fair enough. So
that's. Stay up there
Whether that's fun for the audience, I'm not sure, but I know you guys love it. It's got to be fun for you, right?
There's a certain amount of Schadenfreude for the audience. It's
Sure.
Like, oh, look at him sweat. Look at him sweat.
Anybody's up for a night of Schadenfreude, or however you're supposed to say it.
But there's also there's something about you're panicking, they're wondering. I don't know. There's especially if I come up with something and neither of us thought we could do it, it is we went through something together.
Sure. No, that's great.
Yeah.
I dig that.
I do tell them to lower their expectations though. So
it's a bit of a jam session.
Yeah,
you plug it in the amps and you're going, I wonder what that guy's got. I wonder what's happening with her.
I heard a comedian at Acme one time describe trying to work new material through the Acme specifically in a Minnesota audience as a bit frustrating. He goes, because they laugh at everything. I'm trying to figure out what's good and what's bad, and they're so damn polite and just grateful to have comedy in town that they laugh at everything. Are you experiencing that?
Yeah, we always talk about, over the past years, we're not going to know with this crop, but in past years, we've all speculated that 20 minutes at 20 Acme minutes is usually about 10 minutes in the real world.
Oh, really?
But I also think there's something to. You do start to figure out the different laughs. You know what I mean? So when something killed, and then when something's all right, I think they just don't want me to be sad.
The polite Midwesterners.
Yeah. Which is just all right, everybody's going into mom vibes where you're like, you tried. Look at you trying. So you do start to figure out the difference.
I would have to think that there's nothing worse than the good effort laugh at a comedy club when you're on stage holding that mic, man.
For sure.
Yeah, it's all they're doing. They're just laughing to prevent the housekeeping from having a traumatic experience when they come in the room in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
We went to see our buddy Jeff Cesario last weekend. Tony and I were there, and we were talking about it on the way in. I get the good effort laugh, because there really is nothing for me personally more uncomfortable than watching someone struggle in that realm. I will sit through a bad band or a bad singer all day long. Somebody that's not connecting, watching that spiral out, that's the worst feeling in the world. I feel so horrible when I see someone in that situation.
Yeah, it's called improv.
Is that?
And that's why somebody's like, oh, do you want to go to my graduation improv class? It's like, ooh, I think I have to get dental work done. I don't think I can. I'm so sorry.
It's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it? Good improv.
There's only so many yes ands that you can float on.
Because I also think the nature of how ideas spark is you have an idea and you're searching to see if it connects, and all right, that first idea didn't connect, so I'm going to go deeper into the idea, and then now you're 4 ideas in, and you're nobody likes this. I don't like this. They don't like this, and you're truly just getting deeper and deeper into the swimming pool, and now you're like, oh, I'm tired, and I don't know if I can get out.
How long into doing this? You started as a kid, right? You were a teenager.
Yeah, I started when I was 16.
So you're nuts. We got that figured out.
Of course. But we all are. So is Tim.
Well, but it's been so long for him. I mean, it's it's just a callus at this point. I'm still thinking maybe it's just a blister. But
my insanity.
How long into life as a comedian, or someone who's trying to be a comedian, whatever that line is, how long into it before you realize, okay, I got to stop doubling down and tripling down? Because I would think if you got an idea and you think it's good, it takes a while to recognize, no, it's not the idea, it's me, or it's me, it's not the idea. Because I could see just going deeper and deeper and deeper and saying, screw it, I got this, they missed it. Is there a point when you realize at some point I have to just jump and say, no, this was a bad idea, I should have never pursued it? Do you get better at figuring that out? I guess is what I'm saying.
Absolutely. It becomes a muscle, and there's also times where you keep doing it and it's bombing and you're like, they're wrong. I don't I might not be saying it right, but I know the idea is good.
Right.
So there is a difference between, hey, I don't know if this is a good idea and let's figure it out together, or I know this is a good idea, I haven't figured out how to display it and present it, but I've been 3 months, 6 months into a joke that's not doing well, and I'm like, I will figure this out. And then I've been, 2 weeks into a joke and been like, they're right, I'm wrong, I'm out.
Right, yeah,
so
sure.
That becomes its own muscle.
So Crash and Burn 12, again, it's going on tonight at 8 o'clock, tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and then the weekends you have 7 and 9:30 shows. 4 headliners, Liz Miele and Tim Slagle, who are with us right now. Tommy Ryman. I don't know Tommy, but I do know Derek Hughes. He's been in. He's fantastic.
He's actually working on a magic trick.
putting together a new magic trick.
A new magic trick on stage. So it's
okay.
It's an entirely new dimension. I've been doing this 12 years, and it's all been straight stand up. This is the first time we've actually seen something else being created.
Liz, what do you do? Do you do the rings? Do you saw someone in half? What's your trick?
I'm actually just his assistant.
Okay.
Derek just goes, if it's not working, just say something funny, and I just try to help him out. Yeah, no, it's like I'm like a parrot.
Yeah.
So it's new for me as well.
Listen, self-awareness is key in any endeavor. So just because I'm a little slow on the uptake, so you're working on 20 minutes. Each one of you gets up and takes 20 minutes each night, and you're honing and crafting the same. You're trying to be at the end of the week with, I just got a good 20 minutes out of this. That's basically
Yeah, that's the idea. So, some comics actually did more. David Crow one year did like little chunks, different chunks all week. And then by Friday and Saturday, he did the last, he closed both shows and put together everything he had written over the week and actually had 45 minutes.
What a jerk.
I know.
Truly he told me that yesterday, and I was like, well, he should die. Nobody asked you to do
Here's
that.
Here's a cookie, douchebag. God. So do you find when you do these, do you get people coming multiple nights?
Yeah, we do.
Because I would love to see the whole thing. I mean, in my mind, I'd be really fascinated to see, or at least from night one to the last show.
Yeah,
just
Tuesday and
difference.
Saturday is always you can see. Then you can actually see the whole progression. But yeah, some people do. Especially comics. Comics love to see other comics bomb.
Sure,
I don't know.
Sure.
Actually, a really influential book. When I started,
Bob.
Oh, sorry. I forgot
Keep
where I was.
going.
Yeah.
Momentum.
We're relaxed.
We got a button.
Put your feet up.
Sorry, it's very early for me. Bill Hicks. So a book came out about a biography about Bill Hicks came out, but what they did is they transcribed some of his jokes from it starting, like his smoking bit from the first time he did it to when he died.
Oh, wow.
And it was very repetitive. I don't know if anybody would have been interested. I was 14 when I read it.
Yeah.
But it was probably one of the most influential books for me because you see the little minor changes and how it kind of grew. And I'm very visual. And the fact that I was able to kind of see it and see that it is a little bit nitpicky and slow and stuff like that. And that's really what's happening if somebody came all week is well, that sounded pretty similar, but you're actually, I took that thing and I put it up front, or, I made this just a little bit tighter and we got to it quicker.
Yeah.
And I think that it's really dorky, and I think you have to be a little bit of a comedy nerd to be excited about it, a comic itself, for somebody that really takes in the art form. But I do think that's where the sausage is made, is these little minor changes as opposed to a sweeping change. And you'll see a sweeping change from Tuesday to Saturday, but it's actually, to me, it's very interesting to see what changes and what comes back and what, that kind of stuff.
In any kind of writing, I mean, this is with a song or it's with a script. It's the the 90%'s the easy part. It's getting what screws do you tighten, which ones do you get rid of? That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
That it's all about, but boy, seeing those bits written out, yeah, I can see that as someone who's thinking about doing this or just a fan. And despite everyone laughing when they probably shouldn't or being too supportive here, it is a great comedy town. I mean, I think you do draw. You have a lot of people. I've been to several shows at Acme, and it does. No one's in there for the first time, is what it feels like to me. It's like everybody kind of knows. It's a good scene here, so that's a great place to do this.
It sounds kind of deprecating, but it's a well-trained audience.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah, they know what comedy is. They know what they're coming out for. There's no illusions, and it's great to work there.
Crash and Burn 12 tonight at 8, tomorrow night at 8, and then Friday and Saturday both 7 and 9:30 shows. Tim Slagle and Liz Miele. Thank you guys. We got to bounce.
It's the KQ Morning Show. 92 KQRS.
I'm Steve Gorman. This is the KQ Morning Show. Hey, check this out at Acme Comedy tonight, tomorrow night, and both Friday and Saturday. One show tonight at 8, one show tomorrow at 8, and then 7 to 9:30 on the weekend. Crash and Burn 12 is happening. Tim Slagle and Liz Miele are in studio with us right now. And so, guys, before we kick you out of here, Tim, you have something for the listeners.
Yeah, I got a pair of tickets I can give away.
We got a pair of tickets we can give away to Crash and Burn 12. Why don't we take the 9th caller, 651-989-ROCK. The 9th caller, 651-989-ROCK. pick up a couple tickets. It's going to be a fine event. Crash and Burn 12. 4 headliners spend a week at Acme coming up with 20 minutes of new material, I should say.
Yeah, you can actually see 80 minutes of comedy that's only 24 hours old.
I like that.
If it was
Fresh.
if it was any more fresh, it would have to be slapped.
Right off the comedy tree. Damn. Have you, I know you've done, Tim, this is your kind of thing. Liz, have you done this before?
There's new material nights in New York City, so I've done these kind of, everybody in the audience knows and it's new material. And then once in LA, I was like, hey, this is all kind of, some is new, some is worked out, whatever. And I did like 45 minutes, but to be able to almost polish something in a week, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't have those opportunities.
During the commercial break, Liz, you shared some information with me, and I'd just like to say right now, of all the mixed blessings in the world, both of your parents, if you don't mind my sharing this, were veterinarians.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah.
Can you imagine that? Mom and dad in the animal farm that was your house? How many different animals in the house?
Everything you can think of. So dogs, cats, rats, gerbils, chameleon, no monkeys, but 5 kids, snakes, lizards, whatever you're thinking, mice, like whatever you're thinking.
So if I presented to you on this table right now a gerbil, a hamster, and a guinea pig, do you know the difference?
Of course I do.
See, I don't know. I never learned it.
And you shouldn't have any of them. They're all trash. They go up people's butts or something. You don't.
Your deer knows the difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Did they all get along with each other?
Depending on how type of space, you'll know the difference. Yeah, they're all worthless. Although I will say my sister had rats. She had 2 rats when we were growing up, and I didn't like them when I was younger, but I really started to grow. Like, they're super intelligent. They're very loyal. You can teach them. Like, so New York City, I mean, not so much, but but as pets, they're pretty cool. Oh, yeah, really? I love the sound effects. No, thank you.
I had a pet rat. Yeah.
Did you really?
They are really smart. They're also. I just saw this. I think it's fascinating. They're training them to sniff out mines.
Wow.
Oh, that's good work for a rat. If they can get it,
they're as smart as dogs. They have the sense of smell, and you don't care. So
that's a good.
You get all these rats that have been trained.
No, that's
and
a perfect
just let
mix.
them go in the minefield and just. Good boy.
Yeah.
Good boy.
And unlike and you know you always hear anybody you know that owns a pig will go on for days about how smart they are, how wonderful they are. They're smarter than dogs and they're wonderful, blah blah. But they also taste good. That's the problem. See, a rat, like who?
I mean,
no one's thinking
Survivor
twice.
people know how good the show Survivor. They do. They know how good rats are.
That's very true. I've never seen Survivor, but I watch Alone. And they will work some mice on Alone. They always set the rock trap and it slaps, and then they're like, "This is worth 13 calories." Very excited about that 13-calorie mouse.
My sister lives with 5 pigs in her house.
No.
Wow.
Finish the joke.
Yeah. No, it's not a joke.
Oh, I thought that was
not
a setup.
I went over there for Christmas one, and they're like right in your face, that pig, and they're not little cute pigs.
They're not the pot-bellied pigs.
Well, they are, but it's a lie. People say, well, this is all the bigger they get. No, they don't.
No. All those tiny pigs, they get bigger.
They're full-size pigs, and then what she feels sorry for them because they were pets, so she adopts them. She's kind of like a pig rescue.
Oh wow!
And yes, so we're there at Christmas. We're trying to eat pizza, and it's like right in your face, that big mucus, ugly pig face. And she goes, you don't like them, do you?
Yeah.
I go, no. And so she put him in the room. She put him in the bedroom. And they really didn't like that. They started ramming the door from the inside, just bam, bam.
Yeah, you're eating pizza.
Yeah. Here, little piggy, do you want to see what you taste like?
Oh, man.
And the door is actually like buckling. And it was like a Stephen King movie.
That is like a Stephen King movie.
It's like Birds, but with pigs.
All right. We'll slap some ideas together. We'll get a screenplay turned around in no time. We need a good pig horror film. I mean, you can't have Babe cornering the market, that little lovable little sheepdog. Is that what it was? Sheepdog? Yeah, it's been a while. All right. All right, here we go. Acme, the next 4 nights, Crash and Burn 12. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah,
I'm sure you will have a great time, and I imagine if anybody decides to attend, they will as well. All right, we're just about out of here. Twins at 3:38. Let's look back.
What do you know?
Oh, I'll tell you what I know. On October 4th, 1981, NBC aired a movie called Grambling's White Tiger. Ring any bells? Grambling's White Tiger, the story of Grambling football's lone white player. He was played by Bruce Jenner. It was a true story. Bruce Jenner and Harry Belafonte.
Oh, wow.
I remember watching that movie because at that very time, my brother Jim Gorman was the only white basketball player at Morgan State in Baltimore. In fact, the only white player in his entire conference. And we were, of course, offended that the movie was not made about him. But then Bruce Jenner is not 6'6", and he doesn't have that sweet J from the corner, so it never would have worked. On this day in 1987, NFL owners for the first time put in replacement players for an NFL strike. For 3 weeks, a bunch of scabs suited up and played as NFL teams, which is just mind-boggling to me. And we were talking about this earlier in the show. A few players did actually make it to the NFL, but here's something I knew and forgot. Playing for the Los Angeles Rams for 3 weeks as a replacement, Suge Knight.
Oh, really?
What?
Suge
What
Knight,
position?
the CEO of Death Row Records, the man who held Vanilla Ice over a balcony by his ankles. Sad to say, did not drop him. Suge Knight played for the Rams for 3 weeks. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
So, I mean, I'm not a fan of the Scabs, but I guess it wasn't all bad. Oh, by the way, also, who played quarterback for the Chicago, as they called them, Spare Bears? Sean Payton, your current Denver Broncos head coach. Super Bowl winning coach with the Saints. Go figure. Peyton's a scab. It's all he's paying. The karma's paying him back now. Sucking ass out there in Denver.
The KQ Morning Show, 92 KQRS.